Today we will learn about auto scaling practicals. So let me share my screen and then we can start. Okay, so here you can see my screen, and we are there in the AWS console. Okay, we are there in the AWS console, and we are there in North Virginia region. So what we'll do is we will create an auto scaling group. We will create a launch configuration. We will add auto scaling group EC2 instances in application load balancer group, and with that there will be a target group attached. Okay, so let us, for creating auto scaling group, we need to go to EC2 dashboard. In EC2 dashboard you will find there is an option of launch configuration in auto scaling section. When you click on launch configuration, there you will get an option of creating a launch configuration. So you can click on create launch configuration. Here you just need to provide the name, my first launch configuration. We need to provide an Amazon machine image on which we are using, which we are going to use for creating our EC2 instances. So if you know the image ID of it, you can copy that image ID, or you can choose it from here. So there are different images which are already present here. You can choose it from here, or else what you can do is you can go to this AWS marketplace, and from there you can just copy the Amazon machine ID. So I will show you how to do it. You can go to EC2, and from there you can click on launch instance, and when you click on launch instance you will find different Amazon machines ID which are available there. Okay, so here you can see there are different images, and here you can see the image ID of images. So here we will select this Amazon image ID. This ID is for this framework 64-bit x68, and this Amazon AMI ID is for 64-bit ARM processors. So we will choose this, copy, and we will again go to the launch configuration section, and we will put our image ID. When we put, it will showcase which Amazon machine image it is. We will click on that. Then which instance type we want to create. So we will choose the instance type, click on choose. Here we will select T2 micro, which is free tier eligible instances. We will click on choose. Here there is some additional configurations. If you want to add spot instances to your launch configuration, you can have spot instances. You can click on that and you can bid your prices, and based on that you will get spot instances. We will not select that as of now. Rest of the option we will keep it as it is. If you want to enable detailed monitoring, you can click on that. Detailed monitoring is you will get per minute monitoring of your instances, and default monitoring is 5-minute interval. So every 5 minutes it will go and check, and that data will be logged into CloudWatch monitoring. EBS optimized instances, if you want some optimized instances, then you can click on this. We will click on advanced detail. We will add user data script. So okay, so here it is. We will just copy our user data script and we will paste it in the user data section. So what it will do is it will launch the configuration. It will launch the instances with this AMI ID, with this configuration, with 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM, and it will install this many services. So what it will do is it will update first, install HTTPD package, it will start HTTPD service, it will enable HTTP service on startup, and it will create one hello world file, and it will keep that file in index.html in this var www.html folder. Then we will keep it as it is, the rest of the section. Then in storage section, how much storage you want, you can select that. Default I'm keeping it is 8 GB as it is a free tier eligible instances. If you want more, then you can have more size in it. Which type of EBS volume you want, you can select that as well. We will go with general purpose only. If you want multiple volumes, then you can add multiple volumes as well. Then we will select the security groups. So we will, if you have existing security group, you can add existing security, or else you can create your new security group. So we will go with my first instance security group, which we have created during our first lab. We will choose that only. Then we will choose the existing key pair, so that in case if you want to go and log into the EC2 instance, you can log in with that key pair. So my first instance key pair, I acknowledge that I have that key pair with me. Then you can click on create launch configuration. So this is something which is a configuration, and based on this configuration, your EC2 instance will be launched. So just make sure that this is only a configuration parameters for launching your EC2 instances. Now we will go to auto scaling group. We will click on auto scaling groups, and from this here you can see there is an option of creating auto scaling group. So here how it works, you can see here you can start with minimum 2 instances or minimum 1 instances and scale out as and when needed. You can have desired capacity, you can have maximum size. So we have learned all these things, and today we will be doing a practical. So let us go and create an auto scaling group. Let us give it a name, my first ASG, and here you can click on launch template, or you can switch to launch configuration. So what we have done is we have created a launch configuration, so we will go and switch to launch configurations. And if you do not want to use launch configuration, you can go and create your own launch template. Again, launch template and launch configuration are both of the same thing. So we'll click on launch configuration, and the configuration which we have created, that will be displayed here. Just select that, my first launch configuration. Click on next. In which VPC you want, so VPC will be default. In which subnet you want to create, so we will select all the subnets. So in any of the subnets we can have this instance created. So we have selected all these availability zones or subnets which are available in current region. Then we will click on next. Now here there is an option that the instance which are going to be created using this auto scaling group, you want load balancer to be attached to it, or you do not want any load balancer. So obviously if there are multiple instances, then definitely we will be requiring load balancer as well, right? So what we will do is we will if you have the load balancer already created, you can attach the existing load balancer, and if you do not have, then you can go and attach a new load balancer. So we do not have any load balancer with us, so what we will do is we will attach a new load balancer. So this will help us to create which load balancer you want. For example, ALB or NLB. We will choose ALB. So if you want to change the name, you can change the name. I will mention my first ASG1 load balancer scheme. You want internal load balancer or internet facing? So obviously we want internet facing, so that our application can be accessible over the internet. Then the VPC which we have selected in the launch configuration section, it will be displaying here. Then on which port you want to listen, it will be port 80. Then on which target group you want to forward. So target group, I hope you remember that in our previous sections we have created target groups for ALB, right? So here also we have to create a target group, so that all the traffic which are coming to the load balancer can be forwarded to the respective instances. So we will create target group. We will give it a name, my first ASG. If you want to give a tag, you can add a tag as well. Here, health check. So health check is again one of the important thing we have learned about in the section of ALB and CLB. So here there are two different options. You want health check for only for EC2 instances, or you want health check for both EC2 as well as ELB. ELB is elastic load balance. So you can choose either EC2. EC2 is by default enabled, or if you want additional ELB monitoring as well, you can click on that. I will click on ELB as well. Additional section, if you want some metrics to be enabled within the CloudWatch for monitoring purpose, you can enable that. We will not go with this. We will click on next. Here there is an option like how many instances you want. So we have seen like we can have desired capacity, minimum capacity, and maximum capacity. So here we will choose desired capacity as 1, minimum capacity is 1, and maximum we can define as 3. So what it will do is currently there will be 1 desired capacity, so there will be 1 instance running, and minimum is always there should be 1 instance always running. So minimum is that. So there should be 1 instance always running. So desired is like how many instances I want right now to be running. This is my desired. This is my desire, right? That I want there should be minimum 2 instances running at a time for now. So you can change it here. You can choose two. So it will initiate two different EC2 instances to be running. We will go with one right now, and later I will show you how to change this capacity. Then scaling policy. So what can be the scaling policy you want? I mean, how it should scale automatically. So on which scaling policy? Like it can be target, it can be step, uh, it can be target a tracking policy, that is like average CPU utilization, average network in, network out, load balancer, request count. So we will not give it as of now. We will just go with a basic setup right now, and later I will show you how you can add the scaling policy in the existing auto scaling group. We can click on next. If you want email notification that whenever there is something which is happening with the auto scaling group, then you want a notification on your email ID, you can add notification. You can create a topic for that, and on which event type you want. So for example, if any new instance is getting launched, you want notification for that. If it is getting terminated, you should get notification in that as well. If it is failed to launch, or if it is failed to terminate, so whatever notification you want, you can select that, and you can have that notification in your email boxes. Currently we will not enable this. We will click on next. Whatever tag you want to add, you can add the tags. Click on next. So now just review it, whatever configuration you have done. If the configuration is correct, we will click on auto create, click auto scaling group. So now your scaling group is getting created. Here you can see the current instances are 0. There are no instances currently running. There are no instances running. It is updating the status. Desired capacity is 1, minimum is 1, and maximum is 3. Okay, when you click on refresh, you will find one instance automatically get launched. Why? Because we have kept desired quantity as 1 and minimum should be 1. So there should be always one instance up and running. Here you can monitor all the activities. Here you can see details, activity, automatic scaling, instance management, monitoring, instance refresh, right? So here in detail section, you will find all the details about your auto scaling group, which launch configuration it is being using for creating an auto scaling group, and which are the instances or the purchasable instances you want, in which network it is getting scaled up or auto scaling group is residing, load balancing, which load balancer is being used, and which is the target group. Here you can find the activity section. Here you can see uh, there are some activities which are happening. So here in the activity history, you can find successful launching a new instance. This is a new instance which is being launched currently, right? So when we go to EC2 section, we will find that this instance is getting launched, or this instance got launched successfully. We will go to, we will just go and check our load balancer, whether that is created or not. We will first go to load balancer section. We will verify. So here you can see there will be one load balancer which will be there, that is application load balancer. So here you can see my first ASG1. You can click on DNS name of it. You can copy and paste your DNS name and check whether your EC2 instance is serving the traffic. So here you can see your EC2 instance is serving the traffic using load balancer. So when you hit the load balancer DNS name, this hello world will be seen, right? So you can also go and check your target groups, whether your target groups are healthy or not. If it is healthy, then only your traffic will be served. So that is for sure your targets are healthy. When you click on targets, here you can see there is one instance and it is serving the traffic on port 80. It is hosted in US East 1E and it is healthy, right? So this is something which we have created an auto scaling group. Now we will again go to auto scaling group. We will change our capacity, like desired capacity, and we will see what happens. We will click on my first ASG. So here in detail section, you will find there is an option of edit, right? So just click on edit. And here you will get an option like what should be the group size. So what I will do is I will change the desired capacity to 2. So what it will do is, let's just check that. I have clicked on update, and now let us go to activity section. So here you can see within some time you will find one more instance getting launched. So here you can see pre in service launching a new instance. So this is a recent activity. So this is launching a new instance. The instance ID is this I and this 801. So once it is active and healthy, this instance will get added in automatically to auto scaling group or a target group in a load balancer. So now when you go to target groups, you will find two different instances which are there in the target group. And you click on this and you click on targets, you will find two instances. So previously there was only one instance, now there are two instances. So currently it is in an initial stage, right? So once it is healthy, it will start serving traffic from both the instances. So here you can see there are two different instances, and both the instances are in different availability zones, or we can say both the instances are in different data centers altogether, right? So this is something which is your highly available architecture. So let us wait for some time and let us see whether it comes up and gets healthy, and then we can see. Uh, so now this is healthy. Let us go to our DNS and check whether it is getting served. So now you can see the IP address is different, and when we click on this again, IP address got changed. So now the traffic went to EC2 instance 2. We will again hit 1, 2. This is something which we have already seen in our practical sections of application load balancer and uh, classic load balancer. So that is something which is exactly happening right now. There are two different instances. When we are hitting DNS name of load balancer, the traffic is getting redirected to EC2 instance 1 and EC2 instance 2 simultaneously, right? Or we can say round robin fashion. Okay, so now this we have seen. Now what we will do is we will again go to auto scaling group and we will create an scaling policy. We will learn about scaling policy. So let us click on my first ASG. ASG is a short form of auto scaling group. Now here there is an option of activity. Activity we have already seen. Let us go to automatic scaling. So here there is an option of scaling policies. So here there are two different options. You can define the scaling policies based on the uh, target tracking scaling, step scaling, or simple scaling. Okay, or you can also have a schedule scanning. Just a second, let me open. So here there is one more option which is called as schedule actions. So for example, if you are if you thinking that your on weekends there will be more traffic, right? So you can have like Saturday, Sundays. I want instead of two, I want 5 instances running. So here you can see you can have test, and on weekdays I want 4 instances. Desired capacity minimum should be 2, maximum should be 6. Reoccurrence you can define once in every 5 minutes, every 30 minutes, every 1 hour, every day, or every week. So whatever you define, it will be automatically increase the capacity as per your actions. Okay, so we will not do this for now. We will only see how we can create the scaling policies. We can click on that. So here we will go with this target tracking scaling, and here we will give the name, whatever name you want. And here there are different options, metric. So there are different options on which ground you want to scale up, right, or scale down. So here you can see average CPU utilization, average network in bytes, average network throughputs, application load balancer request count. So for example, if I go and select this, and I need to select the target group, that if there is a 10 request coming, application load balancer request per target. So if 10 requests coming to this target group, it should scale up or scale down. Same way we can also have CPU utilization. So for example, the CPU utilization is like 30%. If it goes beyond 30%, it should scale up. If it is going below 30%, it should scale in. So scale out and scale in. Scale out is like adding more instances. Scale in, reducing number of instances. Then there is option of step scaling. We can click on name. We can give it a name, test. We can create a CloudWatch alarm. Currently there are no alarms. You can go and create a CloudWatch alarm. Click on create, and it will take us to the section of CloudWatch. CloudWatch is one of the monitoring service of AWS, wherein you can monitor different metrics, different parameters in different services, or offer different services. So you can select a metric. So here there are different options. You can go with EC2, or you can go with select a metric. You can go with EC2 by auto scaling group. So here you can see there are different options again in this networks packet coming in. So I want, for example, if packets are going beyond X number, it should scale up, and if it is below X numbers, then it should scale in, right? Same way CPU utilization. If CPU utilization is going beyond 70%, it should add 2 more instances. If it is going beyond or running beyond below 50%, then it should scale in. Same way network throughput, network in, network out, disk read and write, CPU credit balance, disk read writes, CPU credit, network packets in, network packets out. So there are all together so many different options. Based on your criterias, you can define what on which ground you want to scale in and scale out. Then there is an option of simple scaling. Again, for that also you need to add a CloudWatch alarm, and you need to define which action you want. For example, I'm creating a CloudWatch alarm which says, let me just show it to you how I can create. Okay, I'm selecting CPU utilization, select a metric. So here there is an option. What I've done is I've selected a CPU utilization metric, and it is going to monitor ASG. So whatever instances are there in ASG, it will monitor all the instances, and it will measure. It should not go beyond 30% of CPU usage for both the instances, and if it goes beyond, then what actions we want to be taken, right? So I will just click on next, alarm name, test. Okay, so this is something which I have created an alarm, and this alarm will be visible in this section. So you can click on refresh, and here you can see test is available here. So now if it goes beyond 30%, what action you want to take. So here there are different options. I can go and click on add 1 unit, or based on the percentage, how many percentage you want. So you can define either percentage, or you can define a capacity unit. So for example, if it is goes beyond 30%, then I want 10 more instances to be up and running. So it will add 10 more instances at a time, right? And if you want 2 more instances, then it will again add 2 more instances. Okay. So same way you can create one more scaling policy, which will have an action of remove. So here we will not go with this. We will just create a target based policy. Average CPU utilization, if it is goes beyond 30%, then we can just click on create. Okay, so now you can see there is one policy, scaling policy, which is already there. And now what it will do is it will go and check the CPU utilization, whether it is going above 30% or not. So if it is going above 30%, then only it will add more capacity, add or remove more capacity as required. So this is something which is an action, right? So we have not defined any actions here. It will automatically add capacity, and it will go maximum up to our maximum limit. So maximum limit is 3. So it will maximum have 3 instances at a time running. It will not go beyond that. If you go and change it to 10, so it will keep on scaling up to 10. and once it gets normal, your CPU comes normal, then it will reduce your minimum capacity. So now what it will do is, currently this there are two instances which are running, and as per our desired capacity. So what this will do, scaling policy will do, it will continuously check for 15 minutes, and if it is found it is below 30%, then it will reduce to a minimum capacity. It will remove one instance from this. So we have to wait for 15 minutes for this, and the alarm which we have created, the scaling policy we have created, the target tracking policy. So this, what it will do is, it will automatically create one alarm in CloudWatch. So when we go to CloudWatch, when we go and refresh, okay, here you can see this target tracking alarm is automatically created. In this also there will be one alarm. Here you can see there are two different topics which got automatically created. Target tracking. So here you can see utilization is less than 21% for 15 data points within 15 minutes. So within 15 minutes, if it is remaining below 21%, then it will remove one instance. And here you can see if it is going above 30% for 3 data points within 3 minutes. So it will, if your CPU is continuously above 30%, and again it is for 3 data points for 3 minutes, it will add one more instance. So we will monitor this. And here you can see your alarm got executed, and it is currently in alarm state. And we will go and check our auto scaling group whether the scale down has triggered or not. Click on first ASG, go to activity, and here you can see the previous desired capacity was 2, minimum was 1, and maximum was 3. So previously we have seen that there were 2 instances running, and now it is only 1 after adding scaling policy. So it automatically removed one instance. So here when we go and see the activity, here you can see waiting for ELB connection draining. So it is automatically draining the connection from EC2. So there will be one instance which got removed, and it is draining the connection from that. So here within some time you will find that the instance got removed successfully. So this is how scaling happens, scale out and scaling happens. So you can create whatever policy you want for scale up and scale down, and you can take benefit for this. So this is a very beautiful service. Whenever there is a spike, you can add more instances, and whenever there is no need of it, you can scale down your instances, and you can reduce your billing. Let us wait for some more time to get the complete detail log. Let us go and check whether in target group it is there or not. So let us go to target group and see. Yeah, here it is. In targets, now we can see there should be only one instance which is healthy, and the second instance, it is getting removed. The target deregistration is in process, and it is draining. So currently it is getting deregistered. So now the traffic will only be served from only one instance. So it will not switch to other instances. So now you can see I'm hitting it multiple times, but it is only getting served from one instance only. So that is the reason your IP is not getting changed. Click on this, refresh it. Okay, it is still training. I think it will take some time. Let us wait for 2 more minutes. So this is one of the important practical I think you should do on your own. And if you have any difficulties, then you can let me know. But this is must to do. In this also you can see this is based on the alarm. So a CloudWatch alarm got triggered, and based on that trigger, the action has taken. The tracking policy changing the desired capacity from 2 to 1. The desired capacity is being changed from 2 to 1. Okay, an instance. So at this time, the instance was taken out of service in a response to a difference between a desired and actual capacity, shrinking the capacity from 2 to 1. And this is the instance ID which got selected for termination. So this instance will get terminated from EC2 console. Okay, so here in instance section you can find currently there should be two different EC2 instances, out of which one will be running and one should be terminated. Okay, yeah, here it is. So here you can see the one instance is terminated and one instance is running. So whatever instance got created using auto scaling, that will be displayed here. We will again go to auto scaling group. You will see the entire okay. So here now you can see the action was successful. Terminating EC2 instance was successful. So this is how you can use this auto scaling group and auto scaling policies you can define, and you can take the benefit of this.